2023 year in review? Nah, that's boring. We're going to do a 2024 year in preview because this is going to be, as years pass, a very big year for Tesla. And if you heard me say that last year or the year before, hey, lo and behold, I was right. So let's take a look at what's happened recently and what's going to be happen in the soon to have been recently. I'm Brian. Welcome to my Tesla weekend. Joining me is my good friend Herbert from Brighter with Herbert. He's a very smart guy with a lot of fantastic insights, and I appreciate you, my friend. I'm so glad you're here, and thank you for all that.
Thank you. It's the opposite. Thank you very much. Love it.
It's the opposite. I don't like being here. By the way, I had a comment last week, a guy saying, on your channel, you guys joke around and giggle too much, and maybe you should try being serious. Maybe that would help your channel. My friend, I tried being serious for a long time. And once I let my colors shine, is when people actually started resonating with me.
Yeah,
And if
I
I'm,
get that a lot on my channel too. When the two of us are together, it's like this bromance, and I can't help myself. Just last week, you said something like, the competition keeps saying that they're coming, but they just don't have the decency to actually show up.
yeah, I saw you made that into a short. And I was like, what could you just arrive?
That was so good.
It'd be a fair fight if you did. But if I'm not having fun, it starts to feel like work, Herbert. You don't want me doing that. So this is video. Let's pop that on and see what we got. About 90 seconds. You guys can make it. Now, if I told you that this is the year in review for tech, and I showed you those clips, but it was from 10 different companies, you'd have still been impressed.
Yeah, the only thing that I saw was they upgraded the paint. That's all I saw. No, no, I know. I mean, like, is Tesla just a car company? But it's amazing the progress they made across the board. This is the thing that bothers me is people look at 2023 Tesla investors and they go, it was a lost year. And I'm like, okay.
Was
I
it?
mean, I look at it as a product manager. I look at it as a business guy. I'm looking at the business and the product, and here's a list. And by the way, they're very, very muted in some of their statements. Like they had one little line that says, adopted as North American charging partner standard, instead of saying, here's all the companies that actually, these are legacy automakers that have now
Thrown their
adopted
weight
Tesla
behind
supercharging.
us.
They're
Yeah.
making tiny lines here, and they're massive. These are massive undertakings, tectonic moves by the company to make things, happen and continue to improve. You know what I mean? And yet it's just a small line appears, and then off we go.
So here's the idea. I've got this idea, we tell people to keep their power walls at, 70, 80%. What if we put in some code that allowed the customer to say, hey, if a storm is coming, crank it up to 100. And there was a line item, 13.5 million homes protected from power outages with StormGuard. That that rollout of code was easy. I mean,
Or that you can make money. you know.
And yeah, or you can make money. You can make money.
That's a
The whole
business model. That's a business model tectonic change that could disrupt utilities forever. It can disrupt the way the business model works of me buying one of these things because I'm going to pay get paid off because I'm getting paid. It's like,
yeah. Well, and then, but it also helps the grid because you can use StormGuard to also look for upcoming price spikes, so you can levelize the demand on the grid. But that's just one thing. Everything on there was tectonic, like you said. These are all big, and then it gets to the Gen 2 bot revealed, and I'm thinking, oh, that's huge. That is so huge. 5 million cars, a million on the roads of Europe. The number of chargings, I mean, it's just endless. Uh, Now, a question I have for you. So, since this video came out, Porsche has announced that their upcoming Taycan package has beat not only Tesla's record, but
hmm,
it now holds the EV sedan record or executive class, whatever record. They beat Nürburgring not by 8 seconds, but by an additional 18 seconds, which may not sound like much, but when you're getting into those kind of lap times, it absolutely is.
it's huge.
Do you care that the Taycan is beating the Plaid around the track, around that
Well, I
track?
mean, they basically take turns, don't they? And that's what's going to happen next is we're going to up the game and we're going to come out there. I mean, obviously Tesla cares. That's why they're doing this. They want to be seen as the fastest car ever made in production. It is a halo kind of effect. It just shuts down this whole idea of, electric vehicles. I saw there's this one race and I can't remember which one it was. The very first history was made. The very first electric vehicle car won that race. So, this conversation about ICE versus electric vehicles is the big conversation and still is today, and you just got to shut it down. So when you say something like this, a Cybertruck is faster than a Porsche 911 while towing a 911, people go, "What?" They don't believe you. When I tell them when my Model 3 is faster than that supercar there, people just they don't believe you. And then you punch it and they go, "Holy cow."
There's a great channel. It's I don't recall the name offhand, but it's basically Redneck Reacts to, and it's one of his channels. His other channel, he does real stuff, but in this one, he's like, okay, I'm going to put on this video, and when it's doing the towing, he's like, oh, is it going to beat it? Oh yeah, of course. Wait, hang on. And he goes, that's badass. Okay. That's a good way to do a demo. The thing to me with race engineering is that it always finds its way back into production cars. You're going to,
Mm.
that's where the best seatbelts have come from. That's where the best roll cages have come from. That's where the best aero efficiencies have come from. Because some of those things don't make sense to mass produce, but a lot of them just do. You realize, and that's why these companies have been able to justify racing budgets for so many years is this is our R&D department that's pushing the envelope. And what I said is if you want we can go back and forth every 6 months for the till the end of time or just take a Rimac out and track it now and put us all to shame. If it could make it without overheating, which I think it could, very likely could, the Rimac would put everyone else to shame because it is a hypercar. It is a hypercar without a doubt. Um, but the list is so long. Uh, what on there excited you? I mean,
Like I say, I mean, it's the boring stuff, right? When the Megapack factory in Shanghai was announced, uh, then they launched it, and it's going to be done. It's going to be groundbreaking. Will happen in a few months from now, but it'll be done by the fourth quarter. Like we're talking 9 months,
yeah,
and the output of this is so big in terms of revenue and just sale, margins. It's crazy how quickly one factory can be produced, and yet, made a little ripple. People are excited like you and me, but nobody out there is talking about it. And it's like another massive move that makes Tesla not just a car company, and it just shows that we're on track, that the energy division is going to be equal to the division. And so even if you debate about, oh, did you know BYD has a little bit more sales this quarter than last quarter? But what matters is the Tesla's energy division is so big that it's going to dwarf all of this. Like the market cap of the Tesla company today, it's going to be the same just on energy alone. Will surpass this in a few years.
Yeah, it's the there's a snake whose tail looks like a tasty little bug, and he'll just like
Yeah, I
wave it
saw that.
out. It's and That's what's going on right now is everyone's chasing Tesla Automotive, unaware
Mhm.
that that's the decoy. That's just what's out there to draw you in. It's not it's not the bread and butter. So you've got the different vehicles, the different factories, the different products. There's too much to be excited about. And when people say it is a lost year, guys, deliveries are up 35%, production's up 38%. That doesn't feel like a lost year when we had downtime for redoing the Model 3 refresh in China, and the Cybertruck delivered no meaningful units. And I did like to point out that if you want to get silly with the reports, Tesla's sale of other models exploded from zero in previous reports to now some positive number because they're lumping them all together. I can see why they do it. Why do you think it now says other models instead of it being broken out?
That part I don't know, but I think they don't want to split out the Cybertruck quite yet. But very promising because obviously it grew, it shocked people about 5,000 more deliveries than production, and this could actually contribute to the bottom line, or at least the top. No, yeah, the bottom line. There could be a little bit adding to that because it was just inventory sold. Um,
I have a
yeah.
second theory. Uh,
Mm.
they want to book the sale of semis without disclosing the number because other includes semi.
Ooh. Well, it's going to be a big deal because they did mention that as one of the line items, right? Semi is going to go in production in 2024. I
Great.
mean, so here's a year in 2023 where you have the semi is actually, going to come out and going to become a big thing. You have the Cybertruck is a real deal, and then they showed you the next gen platform. They have not revealed the compact car, but they're on path, and there's a couple statements by Elon has already made that they're quite advanced in their production plans for this. So here's three new segments being added, and
Yeah, you know, yeah, you know, uh, the ability. Elon had said that stationary storage has an addressable market that is virtually unlimited. I think he said quasi unlimited. He might have actually just said unlimited. And if you 10x'd global production today, it would still feel unlimited. So I would agree with that. The addressable market is vast. I think the timing of the mega factory in Shanghai is such that it's going to coincide with the ramp of the nearby CATL factory so that they've got
Mhm.
the LFP cells to put in it. And the LFP cells are perfect for the application. They don't rely on any nickel or rare earth elements. They're easy to produce, they're cheap to produce, they deep cycle well, they have a good range of thermal efficient levels of production where they can produce in cold weather, warm weather. It's going to be huge. And then they can export from there to certain markets and not to others. If you've got a factory in the US, obviously you're not going to be importing the Chinese made ones. In the comments, I would like to know what are you most excited about that is going to happen in 2024, but also that did happen in 2023. What was the big story that we should have covered? Do you have any closing thoughts, Herbert, before we go?
Sure. Just three closing thoughts. Tesla bot, Tesla bot, and Tesla bot, dude.
Well, we've
So
seen
no
three
need
of
to add
them
that in the
together.
comment.
Right. This is the idea. The idea that you're going to compare BYD's automotive sales to Optimus in 3 to 5 to 10 years, it's it's adorable. It'd be like thinking of the Disney Empire as a theme park place. They do have theme parks. It is a big part of the brand. It's not a big part of the business. Oh, a pleasure hanging out with you, my friend. I will
Me too.
talk to you soon. And to everybody else, like, subscribe, do the usual things. Head over to Brighter with Herbert. Get a little brighter. That's what he offers at no charge. So far. We'll see how that goes. I have not signed up for his OnlyFans. I am tempted. Everybody else, stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots on the flippity flap.